Welcome to another episode of CIOtv. I'm your host, Mike Stockwell, and today I'm joined by Carrie Goetz from SrategITcom in Dunedin, Florida. Hey, Carrie, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. We really appreciate you being here today. Could you talk to us a little bit about yourself, the book that you have, and a little bit about your organization?
Yeah, so SrategITcom, we do CTO as a service. That's probably the biggest thing we do, and a lot of technical writing. And out of that, and after 40 years in the industry and realizing that nobody really knows what the industry is, the easiest thing to do, I thought, was just to write a book. So the book is called Jumpstart Your Career in Data Centers. On the back end of this, we're funding training and scholarships. And the book goes into really what the industry is, how the entire ecosystem works together, and then provides a bunch of resources. And it's accompanied by 3 years of podcasts, interviewing all different folks from the industry. So yeah, a great resource, we hope, for young folks out there trying to figure out what they want to do in this industry.
Well, that is very interesting that you've taken the data center industry and you've put pen to paper, right, to help others out. So that's great. One of the questions I like to ask all of our viewers that, everyone or all of our guests that our viewers really get a kick out of is how you got your start in IT.
I 100% fell into it like everybody else my age. So I started out with a degree in architecture. I was teaching in school. I started teaching computer-aided engineering, and then I started writing programs for AutoCAD because it was brand new at the time. And then I had a project to tie a bunch of campuses together, and nobody knew what networking was. That was back in the old frame relay days and the baud rate, when everything was dial-up. But since I wasn't afraid of computers, they asked if I would take that project on, and I did. And since then, I have done kind of a little bit of everything in the industry: programming, run data centers, I've designed data centers, I've audited data centers, I've commissioned data centers that I turned around and later decommissioned in my career, and run large IT departments, and now predominantly consulting.
Very good. So from a data center perspective, in your background, has it been public data centers? Has it been private data centers for specific organizations? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's been really all of the above. So when I was running a IT operation for small companies, clearly there's data center involved. But for a large portion of my career, mostly I have done consulting for companies, what their data center needs to look like, whether they're going to go colo, stay on-premise, whether they're going to hit the cloud, what their resources are. And that type of really strategy and technology consulting has been pretty much the core of my career: how it's going to lay out, what the cost justifications are, ROI, all of that good kind of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely one of those careers that's morphed over the years, and it's been super interesting, which is, to me, the best part of tech is that it changes all the time. There's never a dull moment.
For sure, and we certainly do know that it is constantly changing. So from the data center perspective, are you getting into, and again, I apologize, I haven't seen the book, but are you getting into the power requirements and the connectivity pieces and all of the above?
So the book covers the entire ecosystem. It starts at the site, it works through all the construction jobs, all the site selection criteria. Then we move into building envelope, then we talk about the inside of the data center and design perspective. And all of this is formed around jobs. So there's a highlight of jobs for women, trades, and vets in tech because they're very underrepresented. And, this industry, we have a massive talent shortage, and that's expected to get worse. They expect by 2025 that a third of our industry is going to gray out, and we just don't have the pipeline right now to fill that. So trying to bring people into the industry, which is a cause I've worked on for about the last 10 or 15 years, particularly with women in the industry. One of the things I found out is that there's kind of nothing out there that talks about it. There's very little college curriculum. There's a lot of certifications, which I think are amazing, but there's not something that just really does a deep dive in a short format. So the book is under 200 pages, which was very hard to do. But that was a goal, to make sure that it could be digested in a weekend. So, somebody starting out on a job, thinking about going on a job interview in the data center industry, and they've never heard of it, that's really what this book is designed to do. And it talks about the entire ecosystem: power considerations, sustainability, ESG requirements, purchasing, procurement, project management, all of those that are careers, regardless of your degree, that could be very interesting moving into the industry. And then, of course, the tech side, the networking and programming, and how those pieces all fit in. And again, I mean, really approaching it from the whole ecosystem. There was one book out there I found that was about 800 pages that nobody's going to digest in a weekend. And then that was kind of it. So I wanted to make sure that it included not just the facility side, but also the IT side, and then how that whole entire organization works together, and keep it pretty concise, but enough to spark a lot of interest. And then hopefully, when somebody starts out on their first day on the job and they've read this book, they can participate in conversations day one, and they don't feel like they're on the outskirts because they don't know enough to participate or ask questions in those conversations.
Well, it certainly sounds like you've developed some curriculum for our
About
viewers
800 hours
potentially.
worth over the years. Yeah.
That's right. So, how would we go about getting the book?
It is available on Amazon and Ingram. So you can get it in either. It's called Jumpstart Your Careers in Data Centers, or you can search my name and you'll see it's color, black and white, and Kindle on Amazon, and color on Ingram.
Well, very good. Well, Carrie, thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, we're out of time. I thank you. Well, that's a wrap. We'll see you next time on CIO TV.